Let's talk about our litter pick we went on. This segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends over at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure to sign up for their newsletter. All right, so Saturday was the one day of service in Seattle, and this was something started by Mayor Bruce Harrell last year. And look, I think it's great. It is an opportunity for hundreds and thousands of people to get together to beautify neighborhoods. Sometimes it's planting flowers, sometimes it's painting over graffiti or picking up trash. And we went out with We Heart Seattle, which is unDivided's charity of the year, and they are a great citizen-led organization that does this year-round. So this was just another day for them. But for one day of service in Seattle, they decided that they were going to pick up trash at an abandoned encampment in a long, otherwise beautiful green space on Queen Anne Hill in Seattle. In fact, it was just down the street from where I used to live. And this is for those watching the show, this is a picture of what it looked like before we got to work. And it was genuinely disgusting. I mean, this is in one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in Seattle, in what should be a green space that people can enjoy. It was absolutely disgusting. And so we had sent out an all call for unDivided subscribers to come. Many of you did. I was happy to see you there. And you had, I think, 100 people who came in to, over the course of 2 hours, clean out this space. And I will tell you, so many layers of trash and filth that it was almost like it had become part of the earth. And I don't know how long ago this homeless encampment was abandoned, but all measure of things. Some things that were obviously stolen. There were a lot of needles that had to be picked up. There were some areas where it was very clear it was being used as a bathroom. Just layers upon layers of tents and clothing and all measure of things. And again, I think it's a wonderful thing for community members to get together and want to make their city or their neighborhoods a better place. And I certainly don't ever want to act as if that is not a noble task and a noble thing to do. And like I said, We Heart Seattle does that all year round. And I know it's very difficult work. I think my frustration after having been down there was that it shouldn't have been necessary. When I looked at the layers and level of filth in this beautiful green belt, I couldn't help but wonder to myself how long that homeless camp was allowed to be there to get that bad. And in a city like Seattle, we should, in a city that pretends to care about the environment and love the outdoors, it should never have been allowed to have a homeless camp there in the first place. But to have a homeless camp that was clearly allowed to fester for so long that it took 100 people 2 hours to clean it up. And so I think the message is for Seattleites who do care, for Seattleites who came out, I think there were thousands who came out all around the city because they care about the city, because they want it to look better, because they want it to be better. The very best thing that you can focus on cleaning up right now is not graffiti, is not garbage, it's the Seattle City Council. And there are 7 seats that will be on the ballot in November. 7, including 2 that have incumbents running. No incumbent should be allowed to keep their job this year. No incumbent should be allowed to keep their job this year. And I really hope that those who came out and participated realize that not only did the city need a little fresh paint and a little litter removal, but it needs the removal of some politicians who have allowed this to happen, who have fostered this sort of environment, and who have contributed to the downfall of what is a truly beautiful city. All right, this segment was brought to you in partnership with our friends over at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org.